So here is the complete case notes in front of you. And there are 44 questions for your task 1. You have to complete this before 6 p.m. today. And there are particular numbers here which are not really required to be included in this letter. And here you have to also see whether you are going to mention bronchitis and his weight, psoriasis. You have to decide whether that is important for the recipient. So I'm leaving this task entirely to you. I'm not going to help you with this one because today is the LO day. And what do you mean by LO day? LO day means we are going to start writing this letter. So let's go to that area. I'll show you how to start with that. Okay, now you can keep your phone in the portrait mode. Going to the main attraction of today, that is, 1 second. Today, I told you it is LO day. LO. And LO means after completing the marking, that is marking on, in 5 minutes, you also have to complete the elimination. Elimination also should be done. Maximum of 10 minutes is allowed for you during the examination. Okay, so when you get the case notes for writing the letter in the examination day, on the examination day, you have to read it. During the first 5 minutes, you have no right to read the, write anything on the answer sheet. You know that, answer paper. So when you are asked to start writing the letter, I request everybody, nobody will start writing the letter. So suppose you are in the examination hall, you have first 5 minutes will be for reading the case notes, and there you are not supposed to write anything on this one. It is a malpractice. You will be disqualified. Be careful about that. You cannot write anything on you cannot even pick the pencil for during that time. So it is case notes reading time. Okay, after the reading time is over, you will be asked to start writing, but that is a problem. You are not going to write in the next 10 minutes. During those 10 minutes, you'll be starting with the marking and the elimination. Marking means you have to mark certain things which I told you yesterday. They are PP, RR, AA, D, and WK. I hope you know what these things are completely. The video of the same is available in the main group. You can watch this. Yesterday's videos are there. You can watch that. So after marking with the Pradoc and the elimination, after marking and elimination, we have to go to the launching of the letter. Launching of the letter is done with a special formula known as DADS. And you know what is DADS? D stands for date, A stands for address, and D stands for dear sir, dear madam, dear nurse, dear sir, madam, dear doctor, dear whatever you want to write. And then a comma is there. If it is dear nurse, a comma. Okay. Then after that, you have got subject. Subject is this one, subject. But in OET letters, these days, we don't have any letters for subject. So the subject of every letter that we have is a reference. The subject is a reference, so that is RE. So DADS once again. Here on the date area, you have to write the date in the proper way. If the date is given like 4th, 12th, 2000, this way, you have to elaborate and you have to expand it like 4th December, a comma is okay, and 2023. You're not supposed to write any short forms here. And D and A, address should be there. Usually the address should have 4 lines. 4 lines of address is the best number. It's okay if you want to keep it 3 lines, that is okay, but don't make it more than 5 lines. Okay, that will look very unofficial, and that doesn't look good. Again, in the address area, you can write like maximum, you can write the district or the province, like Sydney is a province there. Okay, But don't write the next one, that is the country name. Australia is not required there. Why? Because everybody in Australia knows that Sydney is also in Australia. So you don't have to tell them that. And also, you never transfer a patient from one country to another country. Please be silent. I don't know who is that. Okay, somebody's mic is on. All right. So in the address area, try to avoid, not simply try to avoid, you should avoid the country name. So that's also very clear to you. 4 lines will be better. Line number 1, line number 2, line. Okay, that way you will complete the. Then, dear nurse, dear doctor. Then some people have a confusion regarding this one. Shall we write dear Dr. Sam? Okay, or Weiner, dear Dr. Weiner. In that case, you can write, but there is a condition. If the doctor knows the patient, that means if the recipient knows the patient, or you know the recipient, if there is any kind of a relation or any kind of a connection, any kind of a familiarity between you, the patient, and the recipient exists, there you can write dear Dr. Weiner. Otherwise, the safest thing is dear doctor is best one. Okay, so that is it. And then lastly, we have got the subject, which is RE. RE is all about the patient's name. Like whatever the patient's name it is, write it, and then a semicolon is required. So if it is the patient's name is Sam Weiner, suppose, okay, this will confuse you because doctor's name also was Sam Weiner, like Peter Parker. Okay, my favorite name, Peter Parker. Mr. Peter Parker, and a semicolon is required. And if the age is given, just write 34 years. If the age is not given, sometimes only the date of birth will be given. So just write the date of birth, but there is a colon after that. And then you should write the date of birth, like 12th May, this way, 2000, sorry, no, of course not, 1985 something, maybe 90, I don't know what's, okay. Yeah, 1990, okay, fine, I don't know, okay, fine. So that's it. This is how we write. So you have completed. So, and then, yeah, we have got it. Here, DADS. D stands for date, A stands for address, and then D stands for dear whatever salutation, and then finally S stands for subject, but we have RE as a subject here, DADS. So that is all about launching. Launching is done with what? DADS. If you have any question regarding DADS area, please ask me. Otherwise, we can go to the next one, that is a very important one, the opening part, opening paragraph of the letter, opening. Yeah, please. Any question regarding this? All right. So I want somebody to tell me the complete launching of this letter, the particular letter that we are dealing with. Can somebody please read it out? Anybody can?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is the date of writing?
9th May 2023.
9th May. 9th May. Okay.
2023.
Okay. Then what is the address?
Miss MS Jennifer Adams.
Is it a Miss or Mrs.?
MS.
Okay. Jennifer Adams.
Adams.
Yeah. Any comma after that?
Yes.
No commas. No commas are at the end of these lines. There will be no commas, no punctuation marks at the end of these lines. None of these lines will have a comma at the end of this one. In the DADS area, remember, I repeat, in the DADS area, there will be no, there will be one comma line. I'll show you that one. Yeah, what is the second line of the address? Mrs. Yeah.
Jennifer Adams, then
Yeah.
Elizabeth Community Health Nurse, in bracket, that is, I don't.
Elizabeth Community
Health Nurse, Health Center. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This is the address, Elizabeth Community Health Center.
Elizabeth Community.
Health.
Are you sure that you are giving the address of the recipient or the sender? Okay, you can check it. I think you're right.
And then 125.
175.
125.
125.
Munno, MUNNO.
Okay.
PARRA, Parra.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Avenue.
Avenue.
And then Elizabeth, comma 5098.
Elizabeth, comma 5098.
98.
Any other changes in
Then
this one?
no sir.
Like,
Dear,
yeah. Then
then
DAD. Dear.
dear MS Adams, comma.
Okay. So you would like to call her by her name, right?
MS Adams, yeah.
You would like to call her by her name. Fine. Okay. Dear Miss Adams. Okay, fine. I agree with you. No problem. This is the only line where there is a comma. Remember, there is a comma on this line, but no comma here, no commas nowhere. Okay. Okay. At the end of this one, there is a comma. Then
Ari.
Ari.
Martin Wilson.
Okay.
Mr. Martin Wilson.
Mr. is important. Okay, Mr. Martin
Wilson.
Wilson. Yes.
Semicolon.
Semicolon.
62 years.
62 years. And do you want to write something like years old?
No, years. 62 years.
Yeah, no need of any old. Do you want to write anything like age?
No, old, no.
No age. You want age?
No.
None of them. Very good. Okay, listen, everybody. There is a there are people who still write the word old here unnecessarily, and some people also write aged here unnecessarily. Don't write and make the letter very bad. Okay, so we have completed the launching part is done now. Launching is done with dads. Why are we following this dads? The reason is in the examination hall, there are 100% chances you will miss one of them. Tension, stress. Definitely this will happen. But if you follow the dads, you will never commit a mistake. Okay. Now, and also not only you have a tendency to forget one of them, you will also shuffle them. Shuffle means first you may write the dear Miss Adams, and then you will go to the address, and then you will write the date, then finally you will write the RE. At the end of this, you will realize that the order is wrong. You will start erasing it like a mad person, and then your time is going on like that, and you will become more and more mad, and you will end up in a big crisis. 34,000 rupees is lost, and your chance to go abroad is getting delayed. There is a reason. That is the reason why I keep on telling you, follow methods. Follow the methods and you will never fail in OET writing. All right. So,
excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please tell me. Sorry.
The date is a little bit different. Actually, today's date is 19th. That is admission date.
I was thinking that way. Fine. Okay, so yeah.
As regards to the date, 19 is the date of admission. Is that the date you are writing to the social welfare?
No, it should be on the a day before the discharge. What is the day of discharge?
20th May. 20th May is the discharge date, and 19th May. The writing date.
Writing date.
All right. Is it okay, Swati?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Maybe it was. I was also thinking because it was not the date. I thought that would be fine. Any other changes here, please? Anybody? Yeah. Now, please look at all the things here. A is capital, J is capital, E is capital, M capital, C capital, H capital, everywhere capital. And I'm sure some people make a mistake in that way also. So everything, and the spellings should be exactly as it is given in the case notes. Do not make any changes at all, because I can give you an example. We all know that the name is usually William. Okay, but there is also a name like Williams. William is also a name. Williams is also a name. So if William is given, some of us will think it is Williams. And if Williams is given, we will have a tendency to think it is William. So you should not have such feelings. Like, you should be very careful about the names given there. They will be checking at your letter very thoroughly, especially the first two parts. Which parts? The launching part and the opening part. Most of the assessors will not even read your letter completely. Believe me, and it is very hard to believe. because I too was in the checking of papers of CBSE. So I know this one very well. And there were days, I remember, we used to check the papers like talking about the new trends, and the lady teachers used to talk about the new sarees and other things that they bought. And really, it is so disappointing that the teachers were checking the papers so carelessly, and they would give a long. I'll also give you one thing. Maybe as a teacher, I'm not supposed to tell that because it is a secret of the teachers only. And if you want to know the exact thing, like if you're getting a tick mark like this one, if you're getting a tick mark like this, a straight tick mark, the teacher did not see anything. But if the tick mark is somewhat like this one, small one, the teacher has seen the tick. The teacher was very careful while reading this one. Longer ones means the teacher is just doing only to complete the task. I hope you understood this. Okay. If you become a teacher and if you have to check your papers, you will also understand the same reason why we do that. We have to do that because there is a time restraint for that. You have to complete, otherwise you'll be scolded by the supervisors. Okay, fine. We are moving on to the next area. We have completed this, and now it is time for us to start the opening part. Opening part, we use a very easy, a very practical method known as PRT PD. Yes, very simple. If you use this magic PRPPD, you will be able to write the letter in the best way. Otherwise, you will write a lot of unnecessary things in the first paragraph, because the first paragraph is a very important paragraph for you. Nobody is going to read the entire letter. The assessor is just going to see your intelligence, your carefulness, everything in the first paragraph. Now, 1 second, please. Give me one. Okay. 1 second. No, wait. Give me 30 seconds, please. I'm coming. Yes, I'm back. Okay, so we are going to the next area that is known as the opening part of this one, the opening part. So very easy for you to understand the opening part. And PRPPD. What is PRPPD? Can somebody tell me, is it a PRPPD letter? Is it a TPRPPD letter? Or is it a UPRPPD letter?
PRPPD, sir.
PRPPD.
Okay, for some of the new participants who just joined recently, maybe 5 or 10 people are here who have joined recently. Let me just spend only 1 minute for explaining that. There are 3 kinds of PRPPD. PRPPD, UPRPPD, TPRPPD. I'll show you how to write with the PRPPD. Who is going to read the first paragraph, please, the opening paragraph? Please, Mr. Can somebody please read?
Yes.
Mr. Martin Peter, sorry, Martin Wilson.
Requires.
Okay, so requires.
Urgent assessment. I wrote like this, sir.
Yeah, urgent assessment.
And attention.
And attention. That is usually unusual. Okay.
Sir, with follow care and urgent attention, or continued care and urgent attention.
Okay, fine. We can. So I'm just writing the way you told me. Okay, then sir. What is the next line?
Sir, I wrote in 2 ways. First, I'm reading. He is coming back to normal state.
Is coming. Why did you write in a lot of different way? Some lot of creativity is applied here. He is coming
Which
back.
One will be better. I don't know, sir. I wrote
coming back is something like, it is a normal language. He is coming back. We don't use that in the medical scenario. He's returning to.
Also, I wrote this. He is recuperating after overdose of Mogodon and is ready for discharge.
Why did you avoid recuperating today? Because you got tired of recuperating so many times? Yes. I think I think you are a perfectionist who wants some kind of differences in life. Okay. He's recuperating after?
Overdose of Mogodon, MOGODON.
Okay.
and is ready for discharge.
And is
Today.
ready for
discharge. Discharge today.
discharge or discharged?
Ready for discharge.
Discharge, okay. Okay, fine. Mr. Martin Wilson requires urgent assessment and attention. Urgent assessment and attention. Remember, we are writing this letter to a social worker. Okay, urgent assessment and attention. Okay, that's okay, no problem. He is recuperating after overdose of Mogadon and is ready for discharge today. And today is it today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow, sir.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, let's make that very clearly, because just because of that today will cost you 34,000 rupees. Just because of it today, you will. And after this, there is no point of telling anybody, I was fully prepared. I had taken 3 months preparation. Okay, so I don't know, OET is doing this kind of things. Okay, so just today can change your life. Okay, so be careful.
Sir, shall I read?
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody. Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Martin Wilson requires urgent assessment and management.
Okay.
Full stop. He is diagnosed with attempted suicide.
Oh, diagnosed with
Attempted suicide.
Attempted suicide. Okay.
And will be discharged tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Let me write that also. Please, will you please repeat the whole thing once again?
Yes, sir. Mr. Martin Wilson requires urgent assessment and management.
Management. Okay, fine. No change. No problem.
Yes.
Management.
He is
recuperating. No, he
is diagnosed.
He has been diagnosed. Is better one.
With attempted suicide.
With attempted suicide is not the exact way. Attempt to suicide. Okay.
And will be discharged tomorrow.
And will be discharged tomorrow. Like you are writing this to a social worker, right?
Yes, sir.
And is he going to provide management? Assessment
Actually,
and management. Okay, no problem. Let's wait for some other lines.
Shall I read?
Sir, shall I say?
One second. Who is that? Suraj, will you please read
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Mr. Martin Wilson.
Yeah, 1 second, please. Mr. Martin, 1 second, please. Yeah, Wilson, yes.
Requires follow-up care and urgent attention.
Follow-up
Care and urgent attention.
And urgent attention. Yeah.
He is recuperating.
Urgent attention. Okay. He is recuperating
After an attempt to suicide.
After an attempt
to suicide. And will be discharged tomorrow.
Suicide and will be
discharged tomorrow.
Will be discharged. Yeah, tomorrow. Anybody else wrote in a different way, please?
Sir, me,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, Mr. Martin Wilson requires continued care and urgent attention.
Continued. Okay. Continued care and
urgent attention.
Urgent. Okay, urgent attention.
He is recuperating from a drug overdose of Mogadon.
From Mogadol is a drug, so drug is not required. You can write one of them from overdose
of Mogadon.
Mogadon. Okay, and
is being discharged tomorrow.
And is 1 second. Is being
discharged tomorrow.
Discharged
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We will give a chance for one more person who wants to read. Yeah, Shanti. Yes.
Mr. Martin Wilson requires urgent follow-up care at home.
Urgent follow-up care. Okay. Follow-up care
at home.
Okay, that is a good point. Like at home. Nobody told about it. Okay.
He is recuperating from depression and will be discharged tomorrow.
He is recuperating
from
depression
and will be discharged tomorrow.
Okay, but Shanti, did you notice something?
Yes.
Actually, he is not recuperating from depression. He is just recuperating only from the incident that happened, and there is no point that he is recuperating from depression because we have not provided any psychological help so far. So he will continue to be in depression. He has just recuperated from the symptoms of the complications developed due to the Mogadon overdose. So that line cannot be accepted here. Okay. Okay. So he's not recuperating from his depression is still there. He has not been provided any such medicines or therapies for that. Okay. So what the doctors have done is they have just treated with some kind of I think medicines for anaphylaxis, something, I don't know. So that was what happened. Only the care was provided was for his body, not for his mind. So that is the reason why the social worker is going to be assigned. And then the social worker's headache is to find a psychiatrist or a psychologist later on. Okay, fine. So we cannot say that he is recuperating from depression. That is a problem here. Otherwise, it was okay. Now, we have done so many. See, now I want to show you what is the meaning of PRPPD. Mr. Martin Wilson is the P4 patient. R4 requires, P4 purpose. And then the present condition should be the next line, and the date of discharge should be the last one. This is known as PRPPD. And you can write, whether you are a doctor or a whatever you are, you can write a letter with this method. It is a universal method for writing any letter. It will not fail you. I'm sure about this. You can always follow this method. But now I have an addition for this one. Look at this one once again. Mr. Martin Wilson requires what? Urgent assessment and attention. He is recuperating after overdose of Mogadon and is ready for discharge tomorrow. This is one sample. I think this is clear. This is very simple. Now, we have used PRPPD for this one. Yes, tell me. All right. So we have used PRPPD for this one. So somebody may be asking, then what do you mean by UPRPPD and TPRPPD? See, remember, I'm going to convert this into UPRPPD now. I'm going to convert this into, 1 second, please. Yes, UPRPPD. UPRPPD, this is simple one. This is to update the recovery status of, or this is to update the health status of Mr. Martin Wilson, who plus requires urgent assessment and attention. The remaining part will remain the same thing. This kind of letter, UPRPPD letters, are written to, most importantly, we write this one in the non-scenario, especially to a patient's own GP, or maybe to the community health nurse who knows the patient. So this means in known cases, most of the cases, known cases are having this one. And remember, as per the direction, we saw direction yesterday, ABA. In most of the ABA cases, when the patient is coming from A, coming to your facility, which is B, and then going back to the same facility, sorry, the same place that is A, that is ABA. In most of the cases, ABA are known cases. Most of them, not all of them, most of them. Okay, so there we write UPRPPD. Also to the GP of the patient, we can write. Update means, what is the meaning of update? Updation means giving further information to somebody who knows some information about somebody, right? Suppose Asha George is a patient of mine. Asha George is coming to me from Christy. Christy is her GP. And I'm sending Asha George back to Christy. So Christy already has got some information about Asha George. So I'm not telling Christy everything from the scratch. I'm telling her only the updation. That means till day before yesterday, Christy knew everything about Asha George, the patient. But during the last 2 days, when she was with me in my facility, Christy had no idea what was happening with Asha George, the patient. So now, since I am sending the patient back to Christy, now it's an updation. That's the meaning of updation. So UPRPPD letters are very common in OET letters. So one is PRPPD, one is UPRPPD. Did you notice one thing? In UPRPPD, there is a who. The word who is happening there. This is to update the health status of Mr. Martin Wilson, who requires urgent assessment and attention. Now, there is another one, that is the last one, TPRPPD. T stands for thank you for seeing, or thank you for accepting the care of, some kind of thank you. That is it. Some kind of thank you. And tell me, some of you, please tell me, when do we thank somebody? When a person has agreed to do something for you, right? So in this, in this case, suppose I am contacting Christy, the doctor, and Christy and the patient are unknown. Okay, in this case, Christy is just a doctor, and I am planning to send Asha George, the patient, to Christy's facility, and Christy doesn't have any knowledge about Asha's present medical conditions. I'm just, okay, but the problem is, Christy can say yes or no. When I am planning to transfer Asha George, the patient, to Christy's facility, Christy may say, no, I'm sorry, we cannot admit because we don't have a bed here. We don't have, I mean, doctors are on leave here. Nurses are on strike here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so these are the reasons Christy would say. And then I have to find somebody else. But if Christy says, all right, you can send by tomorrow by 4 p.m. because one bed will be free by that time. Okay, you can send. So don't I have to tell her a thank you? So Christy, Dr. Christy, thank you for accepting. So that is thank you. So this will change to this one. Thank you for accepting. Yes, what's his name? Accepting Mr. Martin Wilson, who requires urgent assessment and attention. He is recuperating. So there are only 3 kinds of opening. They are known as PRPPD or UPRPPD and TPRPPD. So easy. OET letter writing is so easy, but there are people who are asking a question to themselves. Is it? Should I follow this method? Okay, so this is a problem for some of you. Please follow this. You will not have to repent after this. So PRPPD. So this letter, so before writing the first paragraph, it is your duty to decide, is it a PRPPD, is it a UPRPPD, is it a TPRPPD? How are we going to eliminate the last one, TPRPPD? Like in the case notes, did you notice that the recipient was already contacted and the recipient has said, yes, you can transfer, or no, you cannot transfer? We have to see that. That means you have to check in the case notes whether there was any previous communication or any kind of appointment has been scheduled or scheduled at the recipient's place. In that case, we can say TPRPPD. But in this case notes, if you have read this carefully, there is no communication prior to that. So T stands for thank you. T stands for telephonic conversation. T stands for transfer. In most of these cases, we use TPRPPD. But not all the transfers, if the transfer is happening with the prior permission of the recipient, there we can use TPRPPD. But in this case, not no. Now we have to go with UPRPPD. Is the recipient, is the recipient the patient's GP something? No, nowhere mentioned. So does the recipient, the social worker, know this patient or not? Earlier? No.
No, don't listen.
No. Okay, we don't know. Okay, there is no mention like that. That means
Yes.
the social worker has zero idea about the patient. So you cannot update some information to somebody who doesn't know anything about that. Okay, so we cannot use UPRPPD or TPRPPD. And remember, in the word who happens only in UPRPPD and TPRPPD. Others don't have the word who. So we have clearly understood that, and we are going to finalize PRPPD will be used here. So simply, Mr. Martin Wilson, know who, requires what? Urgent assessment and attention. He is recuperating after overdose of Mogadone and is ready for discharge tomorrow. And now you may be having a question, is it a transfer or is it a discharge? Very clear, the patient is going home. When the patient is going home, it is a discharge. And if the patient is not going home, but the patient is going to another facility, it is a transfer. And remember, there is one more problem. And is ready for discharge tomorrow. Is ready for, okay, let's call it a transfer. Okay, transfer is ready to be transferred. Same thing, will be transferred, is being transferred. Do you know, for some people, everything is okay, but that's not correct. All of them are different one. Is ready for transfer, is ready to be transferred are same. These two things can be applied when you have not got any yes from the recipient. Okay. Sorry, once again, is ready to be transferred. Yeah, these two things are used when no yes is given. That means the recipient has not agreed with your request. But will be transferred means you have already got confirmation from the recipient. The recipient had already told you, okay, you can transfer, no problem. So then you can say will be transferred, because if you use that way, will be transferred. And if you transfer a patient without their permission, they may even return the patient back, because it is not an emergency transfer. So it will create some confusion in the other end. So you have to contact them and then only you can. So when you have got a permission from them to transfer, then you can say will be transferred tomorrow or is being transferred. Okay. And is being transferred is also okay when you're writing a letter to the emergency department, because for the emergency department, you don't have to wait for their permission. So these are the different kinds of last lines of a letter. Okay, sorry, the first paragraph. So you have written the first paragraph. Mr. Martin Wilson requires what? Urgent assessment and management. Okay, management can be included because social worker will be doing the remaining management, including finding a psychiatrist or psychologist will be part of the management. Therefore, it's fine. He has been diagnosed with attempt to suicide and will be discharged tomorrow. Okay, he has been diagnosed with. No, there is a problem here. I want to explain that clearly to you. He has been diagnosed with. What is this one? This one. This is, as per our PRPPD, what is this one? The present condition,
This is open sentence. It's not complete. Already we have diagnosed.
Yeah, we are coming
but
to that.
But the sentence said that it has been diagnosed.
Yes, there is a problem here. There is a problem always. See, this is known as the PRPPD, and this is a second PRPPD. This is the P2. And what is P2? P2 means the present condition of the patient. Don't you think you have committed a mistake? See, a patient was brought. After being brought, what did you do? You did tests. After the test, what did you do? Diagnosed. After the diagnosis, what did you do?
Treatment.
Okay, treatment. And after treatment, what did you do? What happened? Did the patient improve? Some kind of improvement?
Yes. Improvement, sir. Recuperating.
Okay. At the time of discharge, I'm asking you, at the time of the discharge, was it he simply brought? No. Was a test conducted? More than that. Was the diagnosis done? No, more than that. Okay, then treatment was done. More than that. What's that? This last stage is what you have to write in the present condition, not this one. Treatment is going on, okay, and diagnosis. So whatever is the most recent or the most latest development of the patient's treatment should be given here. The last one here is recuperation is the last one. If you say he was diagnosed, then a question remains. Okay, just after the diagnosis, you are sending the patient home. After the diagnosis,
No,
you are
sir. No.
yeah, after the diagnosis, treatment
will
was
be-
done. So this is a very important one. Sometimes you may transfer a patient at this point. Sometimes you may transfer a patient at this point. Usually the first one never happens. Okay, just after bringing to the hospital, how can you send the patient to another facility? It happens. Emergency transfers happens. When the one hospital cannot deal with a particular case, they will directly, without even admitting, they will retransfer the patient to another facility, a specialty hospital probably. Maybe in some cases, the patient will be brought and the test will be conducted. At that point also, you can send the patient to another hospital when the test results are not, I mean, when they don't have the particular test machine like an MRI or something. Okay, this is my limited knowledge, see. Okay, and then in some other cases, the patient was brought and then the tests were conducted and then the diagnosis also was done, but there is a problem. The diagnosis, as per the diagnosis, the patient has got a condition for which there is no treatment in that particular facility. Then what will you do? You will have to transfer the patient to another facility. Now, a fourth scenario, brought to the hospital, test conducted, diagnosis done, treatment also done, but there is a problem. Treatment is not effective. They need a re-diagnosis or a better treatment is required. Then you have to send the patient again transfer. Then there is the fifth one. In this one, he was brought, good, tests were conducted successfully, diagnosis done successfully, treatment was also done successfully, and now the patient is recuperating. When the patient is recuperating, where will you send the patient? Will you send the patient home or will you send the patient to another facility?
No, we'll send to the home.
Yes, that's it. That means, see how connected all these things are. How connected all these things are. If you are sending a patient at any of these points, all of them are transfers. But when the patient is recuperating and when the patient is after this one, there is only one place that will be the home. That is a discharge case. Others are all transfer cases. Okay, so this is a very important one. I hope you understood. So the mistake that you committed was in the P2, he has been diagnosed. No, he is recuperating will be the one, because we have to write the last phase of the patient's recovery or the treatment. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Anyway,
Sir, I have one more doubt, sir.
yeah.
That urgent assessment we have mentioned, no? Already we assessed everything we have done in the hospital, right? So we are shifting and we are shifting for the patient is, we are going to discharge for follow-up care. We are requesting the follow-up care only. But the urgent assessment is right there.
Urgent assessment.
Because the first, if it is emergency, we can write urgent assessment, and assessment also, I think it's we can
right.
change. Assessment already we have done. The psychiatric
done the
was there, depressed are there.
But then in the writing task, sorry, in the discharge plan,
Okay,
is
sir.
there any kind of assessment mentioned here? No.
No, sir, they did not mention assessment, the follow-up care. Already we have assessed everything.
Oh, yeah.
No,
fine.
no. In the writing task itself, they are stressed that
Okay.
they need
Urgent
urgent
attention.
attention.
It is attention.
Attention is okay, but assessment is something different.
Assessment is, yeah, you're right. Absolutely correct, because assessment has been done. That's why treatment has been provided, right? So each and every word is important. I was not looking at that point of the area. I was only looking at some other area. That's the reason I missed that one. I think assessment can be. What is your opinion? What is your general opinion? Do you want to include assessment? Please tell me.
No need of assessment.
Assessment is not required. You're right. Okay, fine. That's good, Mahalakshmi. Your observation is so beautiful. Okay, you are always observing things like that. So anyway, so which one is the best one according to you then? Which one will be the best one? What about this one, follow-up care at home? What about this one? This line, the last one? Is it not something like a follow-up care at home? Nobody agrees with this?
Yes, sir, I agree with that.
This one seems to be the right one.
Yes, except the depression.
Okay, that seems to be the, yeah, that this line seems to be the best one out of all of them. But the problem is that this one failed to complete the second paragraph, second sentence. So he is recuperating after overdose of Megaton and is ready for discharge tomorrow. So Mr. Martin Wilson requires urgent follow-up. So urgent is not required here. Yeah, urgent is required. I'm sorry. Urgent follow-up care at home. He is recuperating after overdose of Megaton and is ready for discharge tomorrow. Shall we finalize this as the best one?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so continued care and urgent attention. Even this also is okay. Requires continued care and urgent attention. He is recuperating from overdose of Megaton. From and after, in this case, from or after, both of them are okay. And is being discharged tomorrow. Is there any problem with this one? Is it also okay? Yeah, because it also seems to be correct one. Okay. Now, what about this one? Requires follow-up care and urgent attention. The word home could have been included here. Even if the home is not included, every social worker knows that no patient is going to visit the social worker there. So basically, it is better to better even if you don't mention home. But home is a better one here. This one is having the word home is included. So it is okay. It is much better than others. Mr. Martin Wilson requires follow-up care and urgent attention. He is recuperating after an attempt to suicide and will be discharged tomorrow. So this one is also beautiful. In this one, the writer did not mention Mogadon. Probably, I'm sure the writer can mention that in the second paragraph, it can be mentioned. So attempt to suicide is also fine, no problem. Because the social worker is not specific to any particular drug overdose. For the social worker, any attempt to suicide is considered to be an attempt to suicide. So he is not selective to a particular kind of attempt to suicide. I think this is also okay. I think we have completed.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
So in that sentence, is it we can include Mr. Martin Wilson requires home visit for follow-up care and urgent attention? Is that
completely
okay?
fine? Completely fine. You can write. That's fine. Okay. So today we have been discussing just two things. LO, that is launching and opening. I think we have done it very effectively. And tomorrow is Wednesday, and all the Wednesdays are known as NS days. NS days, okay. That means narration and signing. Everybody knows how to sign. Sign means the last part of the letter, that is yours sincerely or yours faithfully, charge nurse. But then the biggest problem is here. The narration is the biggest problem for everybody. But remember, with our method known as diving and rising, we will complete the narration part tomorrow. So you have to wait till tomorrow 9 o'clock to understand how the narration part or the second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth paragraph, and if there is a fifth paragraph, including all the other paragraphs apart from the first paragraph, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus whatever you have. All these paragraphs are known as the, diving and rising paragraphs. So there will be diving means all the past tense. When the past tense is over, you will go to all the present tense, and you will end with some kind of future tense also will be included there. So past to present will be there. and we'll be discussing all the details tomorrow only. And with this, I am winding up this session. I hope you understood the LO of the MELEONS method. So, any question, please?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a question. Yes.
Oh, 1 second. I'm giving chance for one by one. Olaniki, your mic is as usual making some noise. Let me try to listen to you. Please tell me.
Accept it the way it is, or else you will not make me to talk again.
No. You can talk. You can talk.
Yes, because that's what is always making me. It's making me not to talk. I mean, it's where I'm located. I cannot do anything about
I understand.
it.
I understand. You try, but I'm trying to understand. You try. Now it is audible, please. Yeah.
Can I go ahead, sir?
Yeah, please go on. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I want to know when exactly can we make use of management in the PRPDD?
Okay.
Number 2, sir.
Mm-hmm.
In the salutation hand, if it's a baby that you were given as a patient,
Mm-hmm.
who do you address? Do you put baby so or Miss or Mr.? When can you make use of all those?
Okay, fine. Okay. See, listen now. Okay, you can mute your mic now. You can mute your mic now, because the problem, see, Olaniki, I have no personal reasons to, discourage you from speaking. I understand every time I say that. But, whenever you speak, there's a lot of disturbance in the class. See, you have to take that positively only. Okay. So now listen, whenever a baby is brought, you know that the baby never comes alone. Okay. The baby, when the baby mother combination cases, baby plus mother combination, probably this is a good time to discuss that. Listen, everybody, because baby mother combination always comes. If it is a baby mother combination, the baby must be something around 1 year, and that baby cannot come alone to the hospital, and the mother will be coming with the patient. Okay, so mother can be something like 30 years. Okay, so in many cases, the problem is for the mother, like postpartum depression, something like that. Problem is for the, or sometimes baby is also having, for example, breastfeeding problem. That is what we usually see. Or sometimes constipation problem, weight loss problem. I don't know weight loss is there or not. Okay, constipation can be some. So now you have to see whose problem is the prominent problem. Is the mother's problem or is it the baby's problem? Most importantly, Olaniki, I think you remember, in the patient area, you have to see whether the the baby is mentioned or not. Usually, always baby will be mentioned. Baby Rayan, for example, baby Rayan, and 10 months or 10 weeks or 10 days, whatever it is. Okay, now, since patient is the baby, we have to mention the mother also. Okay, patient is the baby and mother. So suppose the mother's name is Miss Oliver Ryan. Okay, mother of baby, whatever. Okay, baby. 1 second. Peter Ryan. Okay, fine. Every time Peter comes here. Okay, Miss Oliver Ryan, mother of baby Ryan. Come on, requires assessment and management, or requires postnatal, requires psychological help to relieve her postnatal depression, whatever it is, depression. So in this case, you can notice Miss Oliver Ryan, mother of baby Ryan, requires psychological help to relieve her postnatal depression, and whatever you want, you can continue there. Now, suppose here the mother is not important, only the baby is important, then you can directly write baby Ryan or simply baby Peter Ryan. No comma is required here. Requires, of course, requires whatever, requires management assessment and management, whatever you want to write there, you can write. So remember, at the same time, if the mother and the baby, both of them are requiring the same kind of problems, we will never get such kind of questions. Some people asked me even recently also, do we get case notes in which mother and baby both will be having problem? No, they will not give you something like that. OET had once clearly said this earlier, that they won't give double patients, only one single patient will be there. But the mother is given only to confuse you in such a way that you will waste at least 10 minutes thinking who is the patient. So if the baby's name is mentioned as the patient, you can start that way. If the baby is having a problem, but the mother is having more problems because of the baby, then the best way is the way we wrote first. Miss Maggie Ryan, mother of baby Peter Ryan, requires whatever. That's the way we write. Olanike, was that the question that you really wanted to ask?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so please don't take it any negatively, because I never have any kind of inhibition for anybody. All are equal for me. Okay, but the only problem is we need to maintain peace and silence in the class. That's the only reason. Okay, fine. And you know, the same thing happens with Christy also. Whenever she calls, sometimes because you're far away from India, that could be the reason for that. There's no other reason. Okay, fine. Any other question, please? I think somebody also.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, Aditi.
Yes, Aditi. Yes.
Sir, yes. Sir, in the address area, I have written Miss Jennifer Adams, social worker. So is it fine?
In the address area, social worker. So, okay, no problem. That's completely okay, no problem. But you know, Mrs. Jennifer Adams very well knows that she is a social worker. Okay, so it's okay, no problem. We can include social worker. There's no issue at all. But that's not very important. Even if you miss it, it's okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then any other one?
Sir,
Excuse
what
me,
I
sir.
want to ask,
One second. Christy, please go on.
okay. Is concerning following and after, because I noticed in this place, the patient was admitted after. So what I have in mind is when we are using after is a kind of surgical procedure. Then following is a medical. So which one is the best one to use here?
You're referring to which number? Which of them? There are 1, 2, 3. Which one?
The introduction.
Okay,
Mr. Williams required.
Which one, please? This one?
After the word after overdose.
Okay. He's recuperating after overdose of. So you want to replace it with what?
Following, which we normally use because is
both of them are completely fine. After and following are completely fine, no problem. But following is better than after. You're right. Recuperating after overdose, so following overdose. It's okay, completely fine. Following and after are completely fine. We can find the same kind, completely okay. You can write any of them. Both of them have the same meaning, but never write the word followed. Followed is the only problem. So write following or after, you can write. Yes, I think that is answered. Suraj, you can ask me.
So I have a doubt in dad's area. So in this letter, is it we can write dear nurse, or we have to mention dear Adams?
Both of them are completely fine. Dear nurse means you are also a nurse, and the recipient is a social worker. Dear Miss Adams. One second. 1 second. Miss Jennifer Adams is what? A social worker?
Social worker.
Yeah, social worker.
So
Yes,
definitely that is not a nurse. So Adams is to be written there. Okay. Yeah, it cannot be. I mean, we cannot call her a nurse. Miss Adams is the right word.
Is it possible we can call dear madam?
It's okay. Since we have got the name here, we can write the name is important. Name is okay. We usually write madam or sir when we do not know the gender of the recipient. Otherwise, we don't usually write that way, because you both of them are from the medical field. So it's better that you call her by name. You can call them.
Because I am asking because as you told me earlier that we couldn't each other, then we can't use the name.
Okay, when we don't know each other, right?
Yeah.
That is in the
That's
case of
why-
doctors. That is in the case of doctors. We usually don't write, because when you call a doctor by name, that means there should be a reason for that. Either that doctor should be your senior doctor, or maybe somebody who who, like, there is a connection between you, both of you. Because as a nurse and doctor, of course, there is a kind of a difference in their hierarchy. So it's only about doctors. But in this case, Miss Adams is better one, because if you write dear sir, madam, it means we already know it is Miss Jennifer Adams, and Miss, that means it is a female, so we can call Miss Adams. It's no problem. Only in the case of doctors, we have to be a little bit careful about that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good question. It was a good question. Yeah. Any other one, please? That's the end of this class. I hope you understood the LO, and tomorrow NS, and we will complete the letter. And that's the end of this class. See you then. Bye-bye at 12 p.m. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay then. Bye-bye.